Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to another Pokemon Showcase guide, competitive video analysis, whatever you want to call it. This time we're going to be talking about this jacked up bug, Buzzwole or Buzzwole, however you want to pronounce it. This thing is a monster. This thing is an absolute monster. Now, I created a couple competitive sets for this thing, but let's talk about it real quick. First off, it is bug and fighting. Offensively, that's not bad coverage, especially if you couple that with its moveset that it does have. Base 107 HP, base 139 attack and defenses. Pretty poor special defense and average speed. I would say average speed, decent, especially for a Pokemon with resistance to dark. And fighting, I think it's pretty solid speed, and I'll talk about why in a bit. But Beast Boost is going to be boosting this thing's attack as well, at least on the sets that we're doing. So I'll be getting a +1 whenever it attacks. So the first set we're going to be talking about is the Choice Band or Life Orb set. Now I actually have two spreads for this. So first off, we're going to be talking about a more bulkier spread. Now this can again run a Choice Band or a Life Orb. Life Orb, of course, if you want to mix up your attacks, or Choice Band if you just want that raw power. Superpower is its strongest fighting type stab move outside of like Focus Punch, and that's if you want to wait for your opponent or hope that they don't attack you. But Superpower is your strongest attack, and the great thing is when you get a kill with Superpower, it doesn't even lower your attack because of Beast Boost. So you go back up to neutral when using Superpower. So let's say I get a kill on a Breloom with Superpower, right? Instead of getting the -1 attack and -1 defense, I'll get it, but then my Beast Boost will activate and I'll be back at neutral attack. So I'll be able to fire off full power Superpowers while I'm using it. Leech Life is your preferred bug move. It does have access to Lunge, but Lunge is the same base power as Leech Life, and Lunge, all it does is it has a chance to lower your opponent's attack by 1 stage. However, Leech Life has the same base power and also recovers. Like I said, Leech Life was buffed and it recovers 50% of the damage dealt. So with a mon like this that can just attack and get recovery out of it, I think it's definitely better for Buzzwole. Now next up we have Ice Punch. Actually, the last 3 moves can be up to you. Ice Punch, Poison Jab, and Earthquake are all there. Ice Punch allows you to deal with Landers. If you are running this spread, I do advise that you run Ice Punch on this set, because what this spread does is it maxes out your attack while giving you enough speed to outspeed defensive Landorus, defensive Rotom, just Pokemon in that general area. And Ice Punch is definitely the preferred attack on this set just because you're hitting that speed tier, and you can just Ice Punch it, and then when you get rid of Landers or Gliscor, which is what Buzzwole can do with Ice Punch, it allows you just to spam your fighting and bug type attacks. Now the last move is either Poison Jab or Earthquake. What Poison Jab does, it lets you deal with fairy types such as Clefable. You are faster than them, you can 2-hit KO them. You do a lot of damage, by the way, with Poison Jab because you're 414 attack boosted by a Choice Band. And then Earthquake allows you to hit Aegislash and Toxapex. Toxapex otherwise walling your dual stab of fighting and bug, but Earthquake allows you to get past that, as well as not contacting Toxapex, or making contact on it, like physical contact on it, so you won't get poisoned by its bunker protect thing. What's it called again? I'm about to look at it real quick. Boxa bunker, something like that. I just want to see it just so it's Baneful Bunker, yeah. So basically, it's a protect that lets you get poisoned. So Earthquake allows you to get over that while also avoiding the King Shield attack drop from Aegislash and just being able to 2-hit KO both of them. So that's one of the options. And Poison Jab is the other option if you want to be able to hit fairy types upon switching, such as the Tapus or Clefable, just to name a few. Now, we also have a Speedy Bandit set. And ABR actually suggested this to me as well because I was talking with him a bit, and what this allows you to do is actually outspeed Pokemon such as Max Speed Heatran, Revenge Killing Bisharps, and Sucker Punch isn't going to be doing anything to you. The best thing you could do is like Iron Head, you outspeed that, outspeeding Jolly Breloom, Pokemon around that speed tier. And again, it's Superpower, Leech Life, Ice Punch, because hitting Landers and hitting Gliscor, you also outspeed the defensive variants of Gliscor with this set, while still being able to maintain just your natural bulk because of your defenses and HP. Like, this thing has such great defenses on the physical side, and some decent resistances as well. But Superpower is your preferred attack. Again, Beast Boost just makes it so worth it if you are getting those kills because your attack is just going right back up as it drops. And I usually prefer Earthquake on, or I would prefer Earthquake on this speedy set, just being able to hit Toxapex and Aegislash with that Earthquake. Again, Poison Jab is still very viable. You do outspeed Tapu Lele, I believe it's called. Oh, Tapu Fini, excuse me. No, it's Tapu Bulu. You do outspeed Tapu Bulu with this. That was I had the wrong Tapu in my mind. But you do outspeed Tapu Bulu with this, and you can knock it out with the Poison Jab. That's what obviously doing a Jolly Nature helps with this. And again, being able to outspeed Jolly Breloom, so it can't put you to sleep with Spore. Being able to outspeed Max Speed Heatran, and Heatran's actually pretty good right now with all these fairy types running around. But I typically prefer Earthquake, or I would prefer Earthquake on this set. Though Earthquake is easily tradable for Poison Jab. So again, this can be Choice Band or Life Orb. Life Orb obviously not having that immediate power of Choice Band, but allowing you to switch up moves and take advantage of your Beast Boost. Life Orb is actually better, I think, if you're running Earthquake as well, because you can catch Toxapex upon switching, and even after Baneful Bunkers and tries to switch out, you can just predict the switch as well and just go for a different attack. But I like Life Orb on a speedier set as well, as Choice Band is fine as well. But I said as well like 10 times. But you can use a bulkier set of Buzzwole. And look at this thing shiny, by the way. This thing looks like the Hulk when it's shiny. I actually don't like it shiny too much, but that boy just went Hulk mode. But yeah, you can run either a bulky Bandit set. You can even run max HP if you want it. I just ran enough speed again for Landers being able to hit that benchmark. I think it's pretty cool. That way I can't U-turn out of there. Next up, we have the Trick Room Abuser. Now, this is just a brave-natured Buzzwole that can function under Trick Room with a lot of the fast mons running around. Tapu Koko, Pheromosa, just to name a few, Greninja. Having a Trick Room Abuser is pretty solid. You just run Brave Nature with 0 speed IVs. You're also still slower than Clefable. So at this point, if this is your Trick Room Abuser, again, Ice Punch and Earthquake are both interchangeable. You can run Poison Jab if you want to be able to 2-hit KO. If you want to be able to 2-hit KO Clefable under Trick Room. And Hammer Arm is ran over Superpower just because just having that speed drop allows you to outspeed even more Pokemon under Trick Room as you get that speed drop. And though it does have a 10% chance to miss, I think it's better than Superpower just because, again, lowering your speed makes you faster under Trick Room. And that's pretty important to be able to take out your opponent. Leech Life is so solid on this mon, guys, especially with Life Orb. You're pretty much gaining back anything that you would take. And you're only taking about 10% because you're taking the Life Orb damage at the end of the turn, but Leech Life is still recovering everything. And the fact that they buffed it up to 80 base power, they definitely did this for the... I don't even know if they wanted to make Zubat more viable in the caves, man. That thing is already annoying as hell. But they definitely did this for the Ultra Beast. The bug ones are definitely enjoying this. Ice Punch still ran, being able to deal with Gliscor. It does decent damage to Hippowdon, but Hippowdon can still eat and slack off and stall you out. But that's where Leech Life comes into play, where Hippowdon can't beat you 1v1 Earthquake. You obviously resist it, and Leech Life lets you get that recovery, and then you can just Ice Punch, try and beat it down, maybe freeze it. I don't want to say freezing is your option, but you can beat down Hippowdon before it beats you, especially because Hippowdon has to go for Slack Off and Earthquake respectively, whereas you're attacking with Leech Life and healing at the same time. And again, Earthquake is still, it can be run for Aegislash. Be warned though, Quiet Nature Aegislash, I'll show you right now. Quiet Nature Aegislash is slower than you because it's base 60 and you are base 79. So, whoops, those are the other options. And I did not delete them, thankfully. Okay, so we'll talk about the other options because I think we talked about Trick Room too much. Again, this is not all one set, by the way. I'm definitely not running a Choice Scarf set with Roost and Toxic. But these are just other options. One more thing I do want to add, that some good Pokemon to run with Buzzwole. Definitely good Trick Room abusers. Cofagrigus, Slowbro, just to name a few. Cresselia as well. Slowbro's really solid too because it takes on pretty much the flying types in the tier, like Talonflame, which isn't necessarily super common now, but it also takes on the psychic attacks like Psyshock aimed at Buzzwole, and you can get up Trick Room. And Cresselia's just good in general because even with Genesect and Pheromosa and this thing running around, that boy eats any hit and can set up Trick Room. So, solid Trick Room users. There's a lot of stuff running around right now. But we have other options, and I wanted to say this because I couldn't necessarily make a set with these, but I do want to say that there are other options. It does have access to Roost if you think you need recovery, maybe you want to run Lunge for some reason. Typically, Leech Life is better because, like I said, you are attacking and healing in the same turn by doing that. Stone Edge is also another option that hits Charizard Y, Talonflame, just to name a few Pokemon. We can actually go through the list, but Zard Y, Zard X before Mega Evolves, Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y just before they Mega Evolve, as well as hitting Pokemon like Dragonite. Ice Punch hits Dragonite harder, obviously, but Stone Edge just gives you that option. Rock Slide can also be ran if you don't want to miss, but Stone Edge is nice for the twins. Wow. Mega Charizard X and Mega Charizard Y. Thunder Punch can also be ran. This allows you to deal with or do damage versus Manaphy, versus Azumarill, just to name a few. If you want to drop Poison Jab, you can run Thunder Punch. Though Poison Jab is stronger versus Azu, but this also allows you to hit Pokemon like Toxapex in the same moveset. So not only do you hit water types like Manaphy, like Azumarill as mentioned, but you also hit Toxapex for super effective damage in that same one. However, you are risking it going for Baneful Bunker and then poisoning you and just stalling you down repeatedly. That boy is bulky as hell. And last but not least, well, two more things. Toxic can be ran. This allows you to wear down Pokemon such as Landorus or Hippowdon that might be switch-ins or just pivots. They're pretty much just wearing down the bulky ground types like Garchomp, like Landorus I and Landorus T. If you don't want to run Ice Punch, Toxic does allow you to wear them down. And last but not least, Choice Scarf can also be ran because it does have decent speeds here. At max, this thing is still outspeeding Pokemon like Mega Lopunny, like with Choice Scarf, it's outspeeding Mega Lopunny, it's outspeeding Tapu Koko, and you can just run Poison Jab or Superpower respectively and deal with them. So that's all I have left for Buzzwole, or Buzzwole, however you want to say it. This Pokemon has one of the coolest nicknames. It looks like one of the toughest Pokemon ever, just looking at it. But yeah, of course, feel free to leave any set suggestions that you have down below that maybe I didn't mention, maybe like Sub-Focus Punch or things like that. You can feel free to leave them down below. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more competitive Pokemon movesets analysis, as well as Showdown Live Wi-Fi battles. Feel free to subscribe, follow me on Twitch, as well as Twitter to keep up to date, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, friends.